Hello and welcome back to the She Gallery Show, Season 4. Thank you so much for being with us. And today we have Emma Grace. Emma,
Hi.
Thank you for being with us.
No, thanks for having me.
And you are live with us today. And please remember that you can always contact us directly at sharinghisenergygallery.net. You can always email us and you can always call us. And you can call us throughout the segment at 312-738-1060. So we've been talking all month and all season about our first performance art fundraiser, which will be taking place Saturday, July 21st at the National Museum of Mexican Art. And we're extremely excited about this because this is our first performance art fundraiser, Souls Rise, and we have over 20 artists, local Chicago artists that will be performing different types of songs, original songs, cover songs, original dances from flamenco to Indian. We'll also have poetry, short stories, hip-hop, poetry, spoken word. We're just having an amazing amount of talent, including Emma Grace.
Oh, thank you.
And we're really excited. So
I'm so excited too. I can't wait to meet everybody.
Me too. And this is such a really beautiful way to just unite.
Yeah.
Without worrying about where you came from, you know, what do you do for a living, without any social class. We're just uniting by the soul, strictly by the arts, strictly by this love for music, for this love for dance, for this freedom to just be. And it's been really exciting to talk to so many different kind of people throughout the city that are ultimately, regardless of what background, what age, everybody's just really dying to express themselves because everybody has something to feel, something to say that we could all enjoy. That's the beauty about art and music and even sports. You know, it just unites without any boundaries. So it's really beautiful. Emma, I can't thank you enough, not only for being with us today, but for supporting our fundraiser. All of these artists are volunteering their time and their extreme talent. So we are extremely grateful. As we've mentioned, we are raising funds for an art and education center. Throughout the last 3 years, we've been operating throughout the city, working with different nonprofits, different spaces, traditional and non-traditional spaces. And we're having so much fun, but we need our own center so that we can continue to platform and have workshops, a space for workshops such as self-esteem, and to be able to teach and record and have more of a space to share this freedom, to ultimately lift self-esteem and remind us how important we are. Each of us are very important to take us a part of our society and get involved. So Emma, you've been you're a Chicagoan, even though you grew up like in Evanston and different areas of the city. You want to talk to us a little bit more about your background?
Yeah, definitely. I was born in Evanston, and then I grew up in Evanston. My parents live in Wilmette now, and I live in the city, and I went to college in Michigan because I wanted to get away for college, even though it was like 3 hours away. But I told myself I was going to get away for college. And so yeah, now I'm here in the city, and I love every single second of it. Just the community here, the artistic community here, the theater community here. Just this event in itself is showing how many people are interested in having this artistic community, and you know, having a fundraiser to have just more growth and just a safe and welcoming space to explore and express yourself. I think that's super important to have. And there's tons of places like that in the city. I found like open mics, and I'm auditioning all the time and meeting new artists all the time. So I really love it here.
Thank you. So Emma, you see her here with her ukulele.
Yes. We were talking about how to pronounce
it. And she gave me different ways to pronounce it. How do you pronounce it?
I say ukulele. That's not technically, I guess, the way to pronounce it. It's ukulele.
If you're Hawaiian.
But I'm not, so I say uke or ukulele.
We're gonna stick with uke.
Yes, so just uke is fine.
So you see Emma here with her uke, and you may assume that she plays it. You're correct. She plays it, and she also sings, and she's also a songwriter, and you're also an actress or an actor, however you would like to consider yourself or call yourself that. But you started singing, how long have you been singing?
Oh, like since I was born. I mean, since I could sing, honestly. I listened, my mom would, she'd basically wake me up in the morning with opera music. And she'd start singing with it. And of course that woke me up too, because it's very loud soprano. And my mom singing loud doing dishes. And it was also just explosive, and it made me so happy to wake up in the morning. So music was always a big part of my life. And then I grew up Catholic, so I also was always in choir and singing in church. And I didn't really develop my love for what my voice could do until I was like 13, and then I realized, oh, I can actually do this. And I started getting a voice teacher, and my mom was really supportive, and my parents have both always been super supportive of my endeavors.
They carry a background that would support your endeavors, right?
Yeah.
What's their background?
My dad was a theater major, and then my mom was an art history major. So, yeah, they love the arts. Yeah, they love the arts. They've always been so supportive and always have come to my shows, even when the shows weren't that great, and like I would kind of apologize to them and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you had to come to that. Be like, they'd always say, no, we like getting out. We like seeing these shows, and they always really believed in me. And like that's another thing that you were saying with like building a space for, you know, people to feel like they can make mistakes and be insecure, but also grow that self-confidence. You know, not everyone grows up with supportive people in their life, and so you have to find your own spaces. So yeah, thank you for doing the gallery.
Thank you. It feeds me because it's so much work, but it's knowing that it's effective and watching it be effective. It's just that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And you're very right about the trial and error. You know, we all go through this, and many times we try something and we're not good at it, and we say, oh my God, I'm not an artist. I shouldn't have done that. What am I doing? I'm embarrassing myself. I'm just going to go watch the Kardashians and do whatever everybody else
Watch
is doing.
other people embarrass themselves.
Yeah. So I really applaud you for doing that. And you went through that not only, you know, finding what it is that you like, but you, like with your instrument, like getting to your ukulele. You experimented with other instruments, right?
Yes.
And you felt that same way towards those other instruments as well, right? You want to talk to us a little bit about your experience and what led you to this instrument?
Well, okay, so the story goes, I was in 5th grade, and they had this instrument day where they'd bring in a bunch of people with like clarinets and saxophones and violins, and they'd let all the students kind of try out these instruments before band season started. So then you could maybe decide, oh, you know, this actually fits really well with something I want to try. So I tried the clarinet, and I really liked it when I tried it. So I got one and started band practice, and I don't know, I just stopped practicing. I practiced at first, and my dad was actually really into it. He like set it up with me and everything, and there were like these weird introduction videos to how to set it up and like how to play it. They were really cheesy, and I don't know, I wasn't in love with it. And then I tried the guitar because everyone was playing the guitar. And I went to the old school folk music, and I took a class there. And the teachers were great and amazing. I was just kind of an awkward person at the time. I still am, but
Most of us are.
yes, it's just human. No, I would just like bang the neck of my guitar on other people's, and I just like, I don't know, I didn't really practice because I wasn't in love with it. So then I remember going into a music store, and I picked up a baritone ukulele, which is what this is. And I just started playing and strumming, and I was like, oh my God, I love it. I fell in love, and there was something that clicked. And I told my dad this, and I said, I'm going to save up to purchase my own ukulele. Like, this is something that I think I want to do, and I want to sing with it. I think it'll accompany myself really well. And so I told
This time you're singing already.
Yeah, I'm already singing. I'm in college, and I'm just sort of putting this out there with my dad. And next thing I know, like a few Christmases later, I get a gift of a ukulele from my dad. And I didn't have to say it. It was this little tenor, and it says, "The sun will always shine," on the middle. And it's my favorite ukulele. Yeah, it's so sweet.
That is extremely sweet.
And I named it Sunny, and I always play it. And then I started playing this one, and I got this like 2 years after the tenor one, and yeah, I can't stop playing it.
Good, because you're amazing. And just your voice is just amazing. You'll get to listen to her today, and hopefully you'll join us on Saturday, July 21st at the National Museum of Mexican Art, and catch more of our amazing performers. Again, this is Soul's Rise that will be taking place on Saturday, July 21st at the National Museum of Mexican Art. And please remember that you can always visit our website, where you can link up with us directly and call us or email us at any point, and that's sharinghisenergygallery@gmail.net. Or you could just punch in She Gallery and you could find us that way. I'm sorry, our computer is down today. So you went through this journey, and then you started kind of picking up different pieces of yourself. To complete this journey, you went back through old journals from like 2006.
Yeah.
You want to talk to us a little bit about the fun that you've had with songwriting?
Yes, yeah, of course. I have always been writing. I'd be at my desk in school, writing in my notebooks, short stories and feelings and poems that were kind of songs. And then I kept this journal for years and years, and I still have it. It's from like 6th grade, 2006, and I still write in it. And I started looking back in it when I first got my ukulele, and I realized that I could turn these poems that I had into music. And then as I went through some emotional journeys, like breakups and moving out and growing up, I felt a lot of catharsis just by being able to put my feelings into music, and being able to just also play it for people and have them understand how I'm feeling, and have that vulnerability be something that other people could feel too, and then I wouldn't feel so alone in what I'm feeling, which kind of sounds sad, but I mean, it's just everybody feels this way. They just don't always admit it. And I think that music is a really honest way to put it out there, and it's kind of like the agreeable way. Like, people don't really realize how much music has so much emotion in it and so much vulnerability, but we as humans don't always do that. We know we're either like stuck in our phones, or we're not always being honest with how we feel because we're afraid, and music is that vessel that basically can just carry those emotions and have people understand them.
And that's true. You don't really know how anybody's gonna understand your music, or trying to have a conversation about how you feel is one thing, but when you listen to a song, to a beat, it's like, oh, I feel that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I feel that same way. Oh my God, that's my song. We find this common ground to these feelings that we all feel, because we all come to a point in our lives where we feel alone or misunderstood, or we go through life and breakups and changes, and some of them are abrupt, and life happens, and life is extremely difficult. And we don't like to talk about the bad stuff because it makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And people don't want to be around the girl that makes people uncomfortable with all that truth over there. You know, they don't like that. But they'll listen to your song.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. They'll listen to the song. They won't, you put on your status that all these wonderful things are happening, and then you put out your music, and it's a completely different thing. Mm-hmm. I have a song that's called Take It All Back, which is about a really bad breakup that I went through.
I'm sorry, but it's a great song.
I'm going to be singing it at Soul's Rise. I'm doing a cover today. But a lot of that song is really angry and really passionate, and it's not exactly the feeling that I share with everybody over Instagram and Facebook, and selfies. It's a kind of passion that I really love to play with because I finally feel like I'm getting it all out. It's so therapeutic to just like pour it out and be like, this is what I went through and this is how I'm dealing with it. And literally how I'm dealing with it is playing it. So,
that's healing.
Yes, exactly.
Healthy.
Music has been incredibly healing for me. I can't say that enough. And if that's not enough of a reason, like, just forget talent, honestly, because if it heals you, just play. It doesn't matter. Just play it, because if that's how you recover and discover yourself as a person, absolutely just play. And who cares what people think,
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned something about journaling, and I think I mentioned this before in our show, just the importance, I feel like, of journaling too, because it's a really, really, really nice vessel. It's almost like a time machine where you're able to go back to this person that you were at that age and go back to that person that you were that was feeling these feelings, that was going through these things, and you can learn a lot from the kid that you were. I feel like I've also kept a journal since forever, and I still do all the time. And when you go back, I feel like that's how you're able to grow. Like, sometimes I find that I had a bigger vocabulary when I was younger. Shame on me. And you're able to see these things and learn these things about yourself. And when you're a child, you're fearless. So it's like, how do you get to be an adult that's as fearless as that child?
You keep reading, going back, and being like, oh, I guess I wasn't doing so bad after all,
And stay honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think as a child, you're most honest with yourself. And if you continue to do that, you're going to stay grounded throughout and probably produce some of the best music or art that you could, because you're honest with yourself and you're just tapping into the unique, divine you that we all have.
I thought you were going to say tapping into your uke.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm going to tap into my uke.
You tapping into your youth. That's what you do. So it's helped you heal, and you know that it's helped other people heal. What have been some of the biggest struggles that you've encountered while either singing, playing your instrument, or with the theater? Like your biggest challenges.
Biggest challenge.
Like those shows that you claim were like not good shows. Like,
yeah.
How did you overcome those?
Yeah, like the challenges of, being part of a show and working so hard on it and having only your parents show up and then, like, the ushers. And playing at a show where it gets rained out and it's basically just the performers playing. Those can be really disappointing because you work so hard and you pour your heart out and you feel like it's something really special, and then you kind of feel like, oh, people don't really care. And people do care. It's just hard to always get people to go, and you just have to keep pushing and keep going out there, and that's part of it, is to not give up. Another thing is hearing the word no. As an actor, as a musician, I hear the word no all the time. I get emails all the time throughout my week. Oh, not at this time, but we're going to keep your headshot and resume on file. And it can be emotionally exhausting, especially if you're going through other rejections in your personal life. And another challenge.
Well, how do you get from those shows that like nobody shows up or get rained out? How do you pick yourself up to go to the next show and do another show?
That's kind of like the next challenge is like.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. Just going to these shows alone, actually, and challenging
attending them.
myself.
Okay.
Yeah, going to these open mics by myself.
Perseverance.
Yeah, and just
Well,
saying
I'm
like,
glad we found
oh.
you because Jesus.
Yeah.
Now you get to like support us and we get to support you and definitely continue to grow because you're amazing.
Thank you.
And Emma's gonna be performing an awesome song, one of my favorite songs, for sure, shortly. But I just want to touch back a little bit about this sequence of rejection. I just want to remind everybody that S.H.E Gallery started from me basically having a sequence of dreams where I had dreams and dreams and dreams, literal dreams that led me to the University of Chicago, that led me to study business for the arts, something that I would have never done. I never even considered myself an artist because I just painted in my room or sang in my room, acted in my room. I mean, I did it all in my room.
Yes, same.
Or with your friends, or, you know, making films or whatever with your friends and, you know, your kids or whatever, but never to, like, take myself serious as an artist and definitely not to go into business for the arts. And I never was accepted to that program, ever, ever, ever. Still, to this day, I never got accepted. But at that point, I had already taken all of the classes that I needed to get to where I needed to go. So I never needed their acceptance.
Right.
And I did my own thing.
Right.
And part of what S.H.E Gallery does is accept everybody. Because it's not fair to say that you need this degree or you need to know so-and-so in order to be somebody. Because you don't. You don't need a degree. It's very important to have education. But degrees don't always get you an education. Sometimes you can educate yourself, which is very much what we have done. And this is as far as we've gotten. And we want to continue to grow. Because with perseverance and a good heart, you can do that. And that's basically what we're really, really pushing. So I really honor what you've done and your story. And I'm so glad that we got a chance to meet and we'll continue to grow with the rest of these amazing artists that also have these amazing
I can't wait to meet everybody. If you're watching this, I can't wait to meet you.
And your parents are so proud. I do want to have you sing the song. Is there anything else that you want to share with the audience about your experience or any recommendations? I know you already gave like a little bit of advice.
Yeah.
But anything else that you would like to share with us?
Definitely. I would say just keep going. And that even when you see people on Facebook, and I do it all the time, I see people on Instagram getting all these parts and starting to go to recording studios and, you know, they're 21 or 22 and then I feel like my time is running out, and actually it's not. It's everyone has their own path, their own journey, and you have to breathe and go on your own journey and just kind of be with other people in the community and support other people who are going after the same thing you're going after, but also focus on yourself and what you bring, because what you bring is unique and no one else can bring what you have. There is something always, no matter what, that you have that's part of your story, that's what you can bring that no one else can. No matter, it doesn't matter. I know I'm not Beyonce, but I have something that's unique to me. So.
And you are. Thank you so much for that. And I think that this song is extremely appropriate. I grew up with this song, and so she's doing a cover of Radiohead's Creep. And thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next week. Thank you for being with us, Emma. We're going to end the show with her singing a cover version of Radiohead's Creep.
Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in my beautiful